You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV Spartacus After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Spartacus After Show.
Ow! Welcome, Spartacus fans. Yes.
Yeah.
It is that time of the week that we always anticipate and are always excited for. Spartacus on AFTERBUZZ TV. And it is Spartacus Season 2, Episode 8, and the name of this episode was called Balance. And you have myself, Spicy Madi, in the studio today, bringing you all of that great Spartacus gossip and juice and information, as well as hosting the amazing Sean Overman. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Spicy.
And so we have a fun-filled episode, and what do we have in store today?
Oh, well, obviously we have lots of crazy stuff going on in this episode. We're going to talk about relationships, and we're going to briefly talk about new characters since there weren't too many this time around. We'll be talking about favorite quotes and shout-outs.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV.
And we'll be doing, we'll take a short break after the shout-outs. We'll be doing news and gossip. We'll talk about our Sparty workout, because I got a few workout tips.
You always have great workout tips.
And then lastly, we'll wrap it up with predictions.
Sounds good. So let's get started. Let's jump right into relationships. Oh, go ahead, Phil. Phil in the booth has something he wants to say.
Right. By the way, that wasn't me clearing my throat. That was my soundboard. And I apologize for the mix-up with the two intros starting up. But I do want to say this. Like Bing, you guys are doing an amazing job. And, you know, as you guys are listening at home, these guys are here every Friday. Except with the exception of last, which they were here on a Saturday morning, which is even more impressive, to be honest with you.
Yes.
That's right. And so as you guys are listening at home, as you guys are downloading or subscribing on iTunes, you know, please rate and comment these guys. Again, that's all we ask for in return for what these guys deliver to you, and they deliver a lot. I mean, damn, Sean, you just kept going on and on about all the things you guys will be talking about. That's only this episode.
Yeah.
Only this episode.
That's right.
So, yeah. Do your part, fellas,
and
at home.
Thank you,
Rate
Phil.
us.
And we've actually gotten, you know, really briefly to kind of go off what Phil said. We get, you know, we have some fans that tweet at us and they say, "I wish you guys had a 3-hour show."
I love that tweet. Thank you. Those are our loyal followers.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate that. But yeah, definitely rate us. Like he said, make sure that you go on to iTunes when you download and leave some comments. Let us know if there's any room for improvement or if there's anything that you loved, what else you would like us to cover, any topics. And just make sure that you give us some insightful and interesting input so that we can improve on the Spartacus AFTERBUZZ show.
That's right. So let's open it up with how the episode starts. We got Gannicus and Ilithyia walking through the forest. Did I kind of say that was going to happen last time?
That was a nice prediction, and I think it manifested.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we see them together, and we knew that he had kidnapped her. We knew it was him because of last episode. They kind of gave us little snippets of what he had done. Mm-hmm. But now we see, and we know he's going to deliver her to Spartacus. That was kind of what we predicted, and I think we were pretty right to that.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised in how quickly it moved from that scene where Spartacus takes out all those guys that he encounters to Mira and Sparty, and then boom, he just appeared, and there Gannicus was with Ilithyia, presenting him to Spartacus to have her be slain.
Well, but one thing that I find very interesting about Gannicus is that he still has not chosen what side he wants to be on or what he wants to do, because he's delivering her almost as a gift per se, in order to kind of make a truce with the rest of the gladiators. But at the same time, because he could have killed her himself, because he has his own semi-vengeance, but he decided not to. He decided to turn her over.
Yeah, it's interesting how he still, like you said, he still hasn't chosen a side.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing things for other people. He's not doing anything for himself.
Exactly.
Doctor mentions that later on in the episode when they talk, and then Gannicus even said it to Spartacus himself. He said, "Hey man, here she is. You take care of her, and then this will end this vengeance that you have." Okay,
Right.
He doesn't care about Ilithyia. He only took her so that Spartacus can do something about it and just end the madness.
He even risked his life for her, though, because he even said he's now an enemy of Rome. In addition to fighting off those, what were they?
I have no
they
idea.
weren't
Barbarians.
yeah, they're like barbarians in the forest or
Yeah.
something. But he winds up fighting them, and against all intelligence, she tries to run away, thinking that she's going to escape a gladiator while she's pregnant. And I'm surprised that he didn't kill her right then and there, but he had to deliver her over to Spartacus.
Of course, even though she was a hassle, like he still had to get her over there just to get the whole thing settled. That's what he wanted to do. He's still like a pacifist at that point.
Right, exactly. And so while he delivers her, surprisingly, of course, we see Oenomaus not too excited about his return, but at the same time, we want them to be friends again.
We do.
So I thought that was pretty interesting that they still have this conflict going back and forth, because I kind of just want them to make up.
Yeah, and in the previous episodes, Oenomaus has actually been really pissed at Gannicus every time he's there. But now it seems to be lessened, and he actually is having more words with him. They're breaking more words with each other than they were before. So in a way, he's almost forgiving him, but then he feels, Oenomaus, in a way, he's almost forgiving Gannicus. Like, he's on the verge of doing it, I feel like. And he's actually more like pitying him for all this torture that he's going through.
Wait, you think that Oenomaus is pitying Gannicus?
Yeah.
Really?
He even said it himself. He said, "Oh, okay, like if I were to kill you, it would end your torture here." But I'm gonna
that's
continue.
true, because he's kind of lost.
Yeah, because
Okay, I can see that. See, I see it more as Oenomaus kind of still has his own vengeance, but it's not even towards the Romans as much as it is towards Gannicus, because he took, part in with his wife, but in addition to, he had something to do with kind of her death. Would you say that he can be kind of held responsible for that? I keep using the word kinda because it's like, I want to put it in quotations because I'm not too sure if we want to blame it on him.
If you want to directly blame somebody, it was Lucretia, because she poisoned the damn wine.
Right, but he laid with Oenomaus' wife. That's the ultimate betrayal right there.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for her laying with Gannicus, then yes, she would not have died and whatnot. But anyway, let's move on to Ashur and Lucretia. So a lot of them in this episode going on, right?
Once again, I was clenching my fists because their relationship is hot and then cold, and then he's abusive, and then she's abusive back, and then it's kind of crazy.
And he keeps calling her my love every time, and it's so interesting because the way he's like representing his power over her, it's obviously through rape, and it's a cringing thing to see, and it even looks like obviously she's in pain. She was very much.
Oh, she's not enjoying it. You asked last episode. You thought she was kind of enjoying it. She's not enjoying it.
No, I can clearly see that now. But actually, it seems like Ashur doesn't even really enjoy it too. He's just doing it just to get like that physical pleasure.
It's for the power.
Yeah, it's for the power and it's for the physical pleasure. And he calls her my love because there's no one else who can love this guy.
Well, I think he's doing that almost as taunting. He's kind of like not mimicking, but he's almost what would it be when a person who has kidnapped you? What is that syndrome called?
Oh, it's Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah.
Okay, except for it's not working on Lucretia.
No, it's not.
She's not falling in love with Ashur. There's no way to fall in love with him.
No.
And so she's not using it to her advantage either. I thought that she would have done something to use this sleeping with him her advantage.
She did that this time.
She found the bracelet. Yes. But in the sense of she's not regaining the power back yet. I haven't seen her regain that power. And in this situation, I'm hoping that she does with Seppia, because we see her constantly trying to win Seppia over in order to rebel against him. But I just feel like she could kill Ashur and then it would be done. So why doesn't Lucretia just kill him?
Well, that would be interesting if it happened, but you know what? It's not the end of the season yet. Maybe it's gonna happen. Maybe she's gonna do it.
You'd be pretty upset if she killed Ashur. Ashur had to leave the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset. It's just that it feels like his time is coming near.
Oh, you think so?
I think.
Is that an AfterBuzz prediction?
I kind of feel like it, but let's save that for the predictions later on.
We can't do predictions yet.
Interesting fact, though, actually. There was a tweet that I was looking at on Stephen DeKnight's Twitter, and a fan asked him, were there any people in season 1 that were supposed to die off that you kept around? Ashur was one of them.
Oh, say it isn't so.
Yeah. So
Really?
Yeah.
He's such an intricate part of the show. I can't even imagine him gone because he is the perfect antagonist.
He is.
And I mean, now we see Glaber doing it and being evil and killing people, but it's always been Ashur from the beginning of the season till now. Ashur has always been the conniving evil one.
Yeah.
And so I can't even imagine the show without him.
I know, neither can I. And
As awful as he is, we still need him.
I'm glad he's there.
But I mean, we see him and Lucretia go back and forth, and then we also see him constantly kind of taunt her and pull her to the side. He's touching her, he's embracing her behind the scenes, and nobody else sees this. So he's doing it secretively, but at the same time, he's still making sure that she stays in the house. Like, he's not going to let her go anywhere.
No, he doesn't. He wants to maintain that relationship, that power he has over her.
But you see her kind of begging him to find Ilithyia. Didn't you think that was kind of odd?
I did think that was odd.
Because she hates Ilithyia. So why all of a sudden in this episode is she trying to get her so-called friend back?
I don't think she hates her anymore. Remember we talked about last time? It was like this roller coaster of emotion they feel for each other.
So we've bought in it. We're just gonna decide that they're friends again. It's legit.
I buy it at least for now. It's a temporary thing, but it's got to be, they are friends.
Their friendship.
I think they really, I think she really believes she's friends with her now, and I think that Ilithyia even believes that she's friends with Lucretia at the moment. At the moment.
So they kind of shown their loyalty last episode when she had the opportunity to tell Glaber what was going on, and she didn't. She kept her word to Lucretia. Yeah. So maybe that was the moment of truth where they both saw eye to eye for the first time.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Because it took a long time to warm up to each other.
Yeah, a big part, more than half of this season, they finally like each other almost as much as they did when they first met each other.
Even when they first met each other, I didn't believe that they liked each other.
No, well, yeah.
They still had a kind of a snarky attitude towards
Lucretia
one another.
always was wanting to use her, to gain power and, rise up more in Roman society.
Yeah, that's true.
But now they're equals, They're almost equals. Lucretia's on the lower end still, but Ilithyia, she's in a tortured situation because she's got the baby and her husband doesn't love her anymore and she's being treated badly and they're both being abused.
And that's what we said last episode, is that they both are relating to each other. We did, okay. Mm-hmm. So maybe it is because they both are seeking comfort with one another. So she needs somebody who she can relate to, because she definitely can't relate to Seppia.
No.
Seppia is a little girl. She's
worlds
immature.
Apart. Yeah.
Their relationship is old and young. They don't identify with each other at all. She almost is a child in comparison to the knowledge that Lucretia has, because she's trying to school her on what's going on in the house, because Seppia has no idea. Bless her heart.
She's completely naive.
She's innocent.
All she wants to do is bone Glaber. That's it.
And I don't understand. This girl keeps jumping. She went. Who was the first person that she was in love with?
I think it was Verinius before Glaber.
Okay, it was Verinius and now Glaber. There hasn't been anybody else.
Was there somebody else before Verinius? Obviously she loved her brother Seppius.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's three men right there.
Threesome triangle that she has going on.
It's a rectangle, man. It's a messed up relationship.
So bless her little heart. She likes every single person that shows her any attention. And she's clinging on to Glaber. She's up underneath him every single second. She's even in his ear when he's making decisions about going after Spartacus and what he should do.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, and she just wants to cater to him all the time.
But just like he doesn't care about his wife, he's gonna do the same thing to her, because everyone is disposable to him now. I think he's lost all heart once he saw that Ilithyia was capable of betraying him. I think it shut him off and made him cold, because he wasn't always like this. He got lost at some point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think you're right. And now he feels like he's alone and it's just him versus the world.
Yeah.
He's using everybody. He's using Lucretia for her god and her symbolic power over the Romans. He's using Ashur as his right hand to do the dark and shadowy deeds. He's using what's her name? It escapes me for the moment. He's using Seppia for sex. That's all he's doing with her.
And you were excited about the sex scene that we saw again.
It was a nice one.
Did you approve of her boobs?
It looked more impassioned and it was a better angle shot. Okay. I did like it.
For those of you who may not have caught last episode, Sean was very disappointed about Ilithia's body at first until he saw her making love with Glaber. So
It was the side boob angle gave it a little bit better.
so this
was a
is
better
Sean
look.
approved, this sex scene.
This one looks a little bit better.
It looked very passionate. You saw them slow the camera up so that we can see every bump and grind. Spartacus is great for that. Because once again, we got to see the whorehouse, and you love every time they go to the whorehouse.
No, not this time. It was awful this time. They had no attractive women in there.
There's no pleasing him, folks.
You didn't notice this time? They had a bunch of big women. They had women that were not in shape, not attractive.
You know why?
Because they killed all the
Glaber
attractive
keeps killing
whores.
them
Yeah, they killed all the attractive whores. Ashur
He
took
doesn't
them all
want
out.
Gannicus having any women.
No, they all got crucified. That must have been what happened.
Well, I would be so upset if I was going into a whorehouse and all my pickings left was what Glaber left them. No one. I mean, it was awful in there. You're right. I will give you that. But at the same time, Ashur goes in there to speak to the whores with Glaber and to try to find out information about Ilithyia, and starts killing people who aren't speaking. They didn't know any information.
Everybody got slaughtered, and now that whorehouse is going to be vacant. We're probably not going to
We're
visit
never
it
going to see
next
the whorehouse
time.
again. The whorehouse is over. Sorry, guys. For those of you who enjoyed it, like Sean does, whorehouse is done.
Well, they
It's
had
shut down for business.
See, that's how they soured it for me. They had all those ugly fat women in there.
That's not right, Sean.
It made me not want to see it anymore.
That is not right. People like whores of all shapes and sizes. That is not fair.
That's true.
Sorry of you, those at home. These are not the words are intended to represent AfterBuzz TV. This is all Sean's doing. But in regards to them slaughtering, I feel like Glaber is getting pretty brutal, and he's getting pretty confident as well, because now he's fighting his own fights. You saw him go into the whorehouse and slice the gentleman at the neck who was just saying,
The
hey,
owner.
you owe me for the last whore that you crucified.
That's right.
And he just sliced his throat.
And then after that, he went ahead and he wiped the blood off on that one whore. So that's really, he just doesn't care, and then he leaves and he lets Ashur take care of everything else.
But I do love the way that they broke it down and showed us when Ashur goes back into memory of exactly how he tried to get information about Ilithyia and how it was gruesome. And Spartacus is great for giving us all the blood, all the guts, bones, marrow, whatever it is that we want to see.
Oh yeah, when they popped that one
They
guy's
popped an
arm
elbow.
out. Oh man, there's the bone sticking out
knives
there.
go up noses.
Yeah.
Through the heart,
Through the mouth.
through the mouth.
Man.
There was no body part that was untouched by Ashur and his men this episode. But as gruesome as it was, I loved seeing it because Spartacus. It's the only show that's going to give it to us raw like that.
That's true, and I liked how they did give it to us in a flashback, so they made it a lot faster, a lot quicker,
Right.
And it did show the gruesomeness more, because that's like someone's, in someone's memory. It's like those flashes, you have images and
Yes.
photos in your mind, and that was well demonstrated. I
Right.
felt in this episode.
I definitely agree with that. I love that.
So let's move on to Sparty and Ilithyia, and this big secret is finally revealed. So he shows her some mercy because he doesn't want to kill her, and he doesn't want to make it like so everything's balanced, right? Because it won't be balanced. He doesn't want to be balanced. He wants to feel like he's the more just, the better person.
The name of the episode is Balance.
Yes. And she reveals to him the big secret that we've been talking about and alluding to this whole season. Is it Spartacus's baby? She says it is.
Can I just tell you how upset I am that it's Spartacus's child? And I don't believe her.
She could be using it to her advantage. Just saying it, because how they didn't have DNA tests back then.
This is true. This is but how does she know that it's Spartacus? Because maybe she hadn't laid with her husband around that time.
Maybe.
So she knew, okay, I'm not ovulating, so it has to be Spartacus's because that's the only time that I had sex was when I was. Like, it has to be something. How does she know? There's no really way of knowing.
Well, actually, that's a good point. What you're saying right there, because she probably didn't lay with her husband for a long time, and as Glaber talked about this episode, they had great warm love when they first started, and as things went on, it got colder and colder. He probably wasn't sleeping with her a lot.
That's probably why she was having sex with the gladiators, because she wasn't getting any.
Ah.
So that's how she knows that it's not his, it's not Glaber's.
So through our deductive pathways, we find out
figured
that
out.
it probably is Sparty's.
It is not your baby, Glaber. But it's crazy that she admitted it to Spartacus because she knew that was the one thing that would save her life. And so Spartacus is now more inclined to spare her, but I don't think that he was going to kill her to begin with. Do you?
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, they're making, and one thing that I don't know if I like that they're doing is making Spartacus kind of soft. I feel like that if he's a real killer and a real warrior and a leader, then he would end this war and have revenge on her life. But he wants the man who killed his wife and not a wife for a wife.
That's true. And, for the greater good, Spartacus has to be more peace and justice. He has to be that perfect, like you said earlier.
He's like Jesus.
He's like the Messiah. You can't have this guy be tarnished in any way. Look at him. He looks like he's tarnished by dirt and blood, but that's just on the outside. He's got a heart of gold in here.
Yeah.
And you can't touch that thing.
He doesn't kill unless it's just. We know. But unfortunately, now Ilithyia is living, and she tries to collaborate with Lucius.
Yeah.
I mean, did that not? I kind of knew that Ilithyia would try to do that because there's no end to her madness.
I had a feeling that would happen too, and it's obviously because they're both Romans. She looks at his arm, she doesn't see a brand, and he, alludes to that he once had land and he had a great family and everything, and that had all been taken away from him by Roman men with power who didn't want him to have anything.
And I thought that he was going to collaborate with her and give her her request. I thought that he was going to try to get, because I have never trusted him. Even in the beginning, I kind of thought that he was going to turn on the gladiators, but every single time, once again, he proves himself trustworthy, because then we see him go to Glaber's house, the house of Gladiator, actually. Yeah. They're, I guess, renting it out. And he tells him, or he confronts him. Like, this is his opportunity to speak to the man who killed his family and an entire village. And he doesn't do anything other than tell him the negotiations that Spartacus has requested.
Right. Oh, well, we don't know if it was Glaber who slaughtered his whole family and took away his stuff. It was just
the
Romans in general, Roman senators in power, whatever. But it gave him a good opportunity to show it. It kind of played with us. It made me feel like, damn, is he really doing this? And but he went off with Spartacus, on that walk. So perhaps, there's some strategy behind it. And of course, we revealed that it was a strategic move. And that was good. I like that.
I like that too, because we thought that he was betraying them.
Yeah. And he was able to spit in the face and piss on the Romans one last time. And he enjoyed it.
Tattoo Man wanted to kill him so bad.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? Okay, so the tattoo guy that was killed last time, was he still alive? I thought he was dead. He had the Rudius sword in him. Was it just like nothing?
He's still well. You see, he can take bow and arrows and not be affected or phased at all.
Oh wait, are you talking about Egyptian guy?
Yeah, Egyptian guy.
Oh, Egyptian guy.
Oh,
okay,
so tattoo guy. Okay, well, Egyptian guy has tattoos too.
Yeah, he does. That's
okay,
true.
so Egyptian guy, I forgot, is different than tattoo guy, because Egyptian guy has tattoos. Okay, so Egyptian guy wanted to kill him. I'm sorry.
He did.
And so we see him once again, ripped and ready to go, but he has the weight of having Ilithyia still alive and that she'll be dead if they lay a finger on her. So I really didn't believe that they weren't going to follow him home, and I guess they didn't, because that would have been the wise thing to do.
On the Romans' part.
Yeah, I thought the Romans would have followed him, but instead they came with the carriage.
They did, and then they came with that thing, and finally this was a good confrontation. I wanted to see this. Remember, we talked about it last time?
Yes.
I was like, oh, it's going to happen. I want to see it happen next time, and it did. So we had Glaber, Spartacus face off, and there's an allusion in there to that the cloth that was supposed to be from the wife
You pointed
of the
that
enemy.
out because Spartacus had the ribbon before, correct?
That's right.
Where he kept dangling the ribbon.
Yeah, the
and
purple one
holding
from
onto
Sora.
it for a smell of his wife, like a scent to remember her by.
Yes.
And so he did the same thing to him this time.
That's right, and obviously it was it was not very well used, because Glaber didn't care.
He doesn't love his wife.
He said he would sell the whole world just to see Spartacus beneath his feet.
That's a pride and ego. That's all that is right there. I mean, I don't know if that's just something that goes on with men, or if this is like the Romans or what. But Spartacus is doing the same thing. He's like, I'm not going to kill your wife because I want you. Mm-hmm. And so they both have the same intentions. They just want to kill each other.
Oh, that's true. It's a war of attrition. They're just trying to kill everybody else around them, and they're not going to stop until they get the head guy on both sides.
Right, but you guessed it right, because you knew that there were warriors or army men inside of the carriage, and they hopped out the moment that Agron tried to open up the doors.
Yeah, that's right. And there came Ashur and all of his men. Ashur he didn't seem to fight that much, did he? He did a few things, but everybody else was getting nailed. And
Yeah.
Ashur, where was Ashur?
Because Ashur likes to stay clear. He
the
doesn't
shadows.
want any confrontation. He likes to stay clear and avoid all kinds of knives and so anything that's going to put him in harm's way.
That's right. And of course, not only did the Romans have those men in the cart, but they had all those other men. They had like a whole platoon or militia.
Oh, when he blew that horn, I got scared.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more men than that, and they were really far off in the distance. So it allowed Spartacus and his crew ample time to escape.
Well, at least we know that they aren't too prideful in that situation to stay and know that they could possibly be defeated because they're not indefensible. Like they're humans.
Yeah.
So they against 100 men, okay, your chances you might die. So I'm happy that they were smart enough to leave and that Mira came and saved the day with her bow and arrow.
Yeah, and speaking of Mira, so she had that one scene where she almost choked the life out of Ilithyia.
I wish that she did.
I kind of wish she did too, because then it could have ended it a little bit quicker.
Yes. And this so the situation with Ilithyia and Mira is kind of a woman on woman, because in this situation you find out that the love of your life has impregnated somebody who you don't only like, you not only like them, but in addition, the baby that lives within her is also a threat to your happiness because you're trying to gain his heart. Now, Ilithyia has his baby. So in addition, the baby's going to be born and be Spartacus's child, the family he always wanted with his wife that's now dead. And that poses a threat to her.
Yeah.
Because now it's going to be even harder for her to get his heart. His attention's going to be drawn elsewhere.
It is, which is pretty crappy, and I have to admit that it's a terrible situation for Spartacus.
I think her reason for killing Ilithyia was double-sided. I think it had to do with her own womanly issues.
I think it's fine. If she did it, it would have been great.
It was because of her insecurities, though. It wouldn't have been for the common good.
No, it wouldn't have been for the greater good. But there was a time, though, where I felt like it was actually going to go the way where she was going to die. I didn't think that Spartacus would come back from his walk that quickly, but then again, there he is.
Well, what killed me is when Spartacus turns to her and tells her that she needs to leave. And he tells her that you don't know my heart.
Ouch.
But I don't want to get into quotes because that was a quote right there. But that killed her because I'm sorry, Mira has shown so much loyalty to him. She has done everything for him. She has turned herself from a slave to a phenomenal warrior and
A warrior princess.
Warrior princess, yes. And she's beside him all the time. She's the first woman on the scene. Even before other men show up, she's there. And she does anything that he asks of her. All she wants is love in return, and she's not getting it.
She's not. We haven't seen them in bed that much in the last several episodes.
This is true. Usually, when you're not making love, there's problems at home, and we saw that when she I guess they were in the forest, and she had said something to him, and I don't know how it started, but he had said or admitted that somebody else had tamed the beast, and she was like, "Oh, who is this?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because she knew it was his wife. Once again, there's a constant reminder of his wife that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
They're fighting a war because of his wife.
Absolutely right. And yeah, that's right. And there was, last time I said I wanted to see Sora come back in some dreams, and we had her. Some old
You did. You
footage.
got your wish.
We put her in there. So that was good, but it wasn't new stuff. It would have been cooler if it was like some kind of new footage that came in.
Oh, of her, because you wanted her now talking to Spartacus, kind of telling him or guiding him what to do.
In a different way. So that would have been neat. But I think that wraps up relationships, unless you had anything else to add.
Crixus and Nivea, they were fighting again, and so I guess there wasn't anything about them, but I just appreciate Nivea still trying to fight and learn how to use her sword and still become, she said that she's trained by one of the best men, by a god.
By a god of
the
arena.
And so, and she is. And so we're seeing her getting stronger and stronger, but I would like to see her put it into practice.
And we're probably going to see that within the next couple of episodes.
Fingers crossed.
Since we're wrapping up, hopefully there's going to be a big battle. So let's move into our favorite quotes.
Yes.
I'll start. I wish to know of where he secrets himself. And that was Glaber saying that. I kind of paraphrased it a little bit because I really couldn't type down the other sentences.
And it's hard to type on your iPad.
Yeah, and so I like that from Glaber's mouth when he was in the whorehouse.
So, okay. Raise voice again, and I will hack tongue from mouth.
Ooh,
That's
one was
mine.
good.
That was Gannicus to Ilithyia.
Yes, that one was good. The day has been long. I will see you beneath the covers.
Ooh, I didn't catch that one. When was that? Oh, with Lucretia to Seppia, right?
To Seppia, exactly.
Okay, good. You should be quizzing me now.
It was
Throw them at me, and I'm going to try to guess and see which one it is. Who said it to who?
Yeah, so she wanted to get her. It's almost like she was tucking her in, like
Because
taking
she
kind
thinks
of
of her as a child.
Yeah, she is a child. Like the way she looks, her body is very adolescent. It still looks good, but at the same time, Lucretia, she's taking that. She wants to keep her out of trouble, and she wants her to stop from meddling.
And she needs her help too, because she wants them to help get. I keep forgetting his name. Who's the person who she's trying to get to come back into town?
Not sure. Who are you
The
talking
one
about?
that Seppia liked at first.
Oh, Verinius. Yes.
Why can't I remember his name?
Oh, he hasn't
he's
been
not
around.
significant anymore.
Yeah, I think it's been like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah,
It's
been 3 that he's been gone.
Yeah.
And so Verinius, she needs her help getting Verinius back as well. So she's kind of using Seppia as a pawn. I don't think that she takes her very seriously, and she knows that she needs her though. So she's kind of coddling her a little bit, but Seppia has no idea what she's up against when she's in the house of Bariates.
Yeah. Oh, not until the end of that episode where we saw that she now knows that the bracelet of the physical proof that her brother has been killed by Glaber it's now revealed.
Right. And Lucretia called that a gift from the gods when she was unfortunately getting raped and had the opportunity to see that laying on the floor with Ashur.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that she was able to give Seppia that message, because when she tried to do it the first time, they were interrupted by Lucius coming to the house. And so now she had the opportunity in the wine cellar.
That's right. And speaking of Lucius, do not clutch me to breast. He said that to Ilithyia when she found out he was a Roman. She was like, oh, can you help me out?
Of course you would pick it up because it said breast, John. I don't train you to fight, but how to win, so you don't find yourself enslaved by the Romans. And that was Oenomaus telling that to the Germans, because this episode we see him kind of taking his role back as Doctore.
Yes.
And training again. Even though he's not 100% healthy to fight, he's training the Germans and taking them under his wing so that they can be just as strong as the gladiators. So I appreciated that he's got to punk them, but I hope that they wind up listening, because they really don't know that he can whoop every single's butt up in there.
Oh, he can. Absolutely. And another one I got, she carries heritage forever denied, my own wife. And that was Spartacus. Talking about
that's a good one, Sean.
Yeah, the baby. Oh man, in Ilithia's.
Oh, that just made me sad right now.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
guys.
Yeah.
Because that really is sad. Yes. That really is sad. Okay, what do I got? I know. Sorry, I have so many notes. I have 2 pages of notes. Okay.
Oh.
I got one. When you gaze into your wife's eyes, I will forever be reflected there in memory of how I let them live.
Yeah, and I almost felt like he was putting it out there, and he is in a way, that she was actually the bearer of Spartacus's child. But then he added that of how I let them live.
Right, exactly.
Kind of thing.
But he knew what he was doing. It was almost a little bit of a taunt, but he wasn't going to give him that.
Yeah.
So, but you know what I was surprised about is that he kind of in a way admitted that I'm going to let you raise my child. Because wouldn't you think that Spartacus would want to keep the son as his own?
That's an interesting point. Maybe he's going to kill off Glaber, and that's going to be the end of it. And then after that, Ilithyia is going to have to raise it as her own. Who knows?
Or he kills Ilithyia and Mira winds up raising it.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Oh,
if
we're
that
getting
happened.
into predictions now. Oops.
So,
we can't help it. We love this show too much.
Day has turned to night, casting golden memories to shit.
What? Who said that? Okay, I have no idea who said that one.
That's what Glaber said to Seppia when they were lying in bed together, and he was referring to his wife having, being like bright like the day, and their love was so warm, but then eventually time went on and everything faded.
Well, Seppia in that situation was kind of alluding that she was kind of searching for certain words by asking him those questions, and I felt like she wanted comfort from him to be able to tell her that he doesn't really care about Ilithyia so much, and that would make her feel more important in this situation. And so I knew what she was doing. That's something women do all the time.
Yeah.
We put ourselves down so that way you can put us up and tell us we're not pretty today. No, you're beautiful.
It's all perspective, yeah, and the men's gonna follow as well, because they're of course they want the woman who's laying with them after they had an intense sex scene. Of course they want them to be happy. You don't want to tarnish the moment and have her leave your bed all quickly.
But he said I'm only concerned for the child or for my future heir, and I take no notice to Ilithyia. I'm not even thinking about her.
Yeah. So my last one I have, your coin overflows. Oh, excuse me. Your chest overflows with coin and blood, and then the other person says both well earned by a day's exertion.
Who said that?
That was the first part was Lucretia, and then the next one was Ashur.
Oh, that
talking
was
about-
because he had that big chest.
Yes, all that money, and it was covered in stained with blood. It's all sticky too.
So he's just been going from house to house every time he slaughters someone or every time he kills someone in the horde. He's just taking everybody's money. He's just stealing, but he's collecting it for himself, or does he give that to Glaber?
I think he's just collecting it for himself because he's a greedy.
I mean, he had
MFer.
a huge chest of money.
Yeah, absolutely, and he some of it he's giving away, I'm sure, to his men maybe. And,
He's
and
sharing with
he
them.
gave a few pieces and that wig last time to Lucretia.
And he's probably, he needs to give it all to the Egyptian because he's doing a lot of his dirty work for him.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a beast. He's a cold-blooded killer. My last one is, he does not love you as I loved my wife. And that was Spartacus saying that to Ilithyia. And in that moment, that was when he let her go.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that he did that because now he has no leverage. And so I feel like they should have kept her a lot longer, at least until they didn't even get the weapons that they were trying to get.
No.
They have nothing right now in order to defeat Glaber.
Yeah, you're right. And him letting her go, I feel like he's just trying to be just, and he's trying to be the good guy. He is, he's really demonstrating that a lot, and that's why he just let her leave. I actually thought he was going to leave her the sword too, so that she could maybe defend herself in the wilderness.
Oh, can you just see Ilithyia trying to fight some crooks off or something like that with the sword, and she's pregnant?
That would be hilarious, but I'm sure she's going to magically get her way into the villa again and find her way back into Glaber's arms. La, la, la.
Well, I am concerned about her, though, because she is pregnant. We see her getting a little bit bigger and bigger, and she hasn't been eating. I didn't see them feed her at all, except for that little bit of porridge that Lucius gave her.
How long did they keep her in there, though? That's the question.
I feel like she was there a few days. She had to have been.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they gave her enough porridge.
enough porridge.
They looked like they were eating well, actually. They had it all lined up. It was like militaristic. It looked pretty cool, where they were just giving her food in a line. It was different than the other times where it's like everybody was scavenging at the beginning of the series.
That's true. Well, now they have all of the Germans in order to help collect now, and they're pretty good at hunting. They always come back with a big animal.
Yeah. So we have to move into shout outs right now.
Is it time for shout outs, or should we take a little commercial break?
Let's go ahead and take a break then.
Yeah,
We'll
I think
do
we should take a
shout-outs when we get
commercial
back.
break because of our timing.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we'll be right back.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
We are back.
Ow, ow. And we always like to pay tribute to all of our loyal fans who watch Spartacus and then tune in to AfterBuzz TV Spartacus and have been watching Vengeance with us this season. So we have shout outs to some Twitter followers. CD Hunt 0 has been communicating with us, and he always tells us how great the show is. So we just want to say thank you. We
There's your
appreciate you.
soundtrack.
All right, I like that.
I feel like I'm getting pumped up. I want to go get in the arena right now. Monica B87 thinks that we do an amazing job, and she loves us. We have our little word flops from time to time, but it's really hard to speak like the Romans. I'm sorry. So I just appreciate you guys loving us unconditionally. And MG Universe is always very faithful. He tunes in every single week. And once again, we appreciate you. This time he said, isn't it ironic that Glaber is informed of his wife's kidnapping while he's messing with Seppia? And this was last episode he commented. So he tweeted right after our AfterBuzz and always gives his little tidbit of the last episode. So we'll probably hear from him again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, MG Universe is very active on his Twitter account, and and it feels like he tweets to the cast a lot too, which is pretty cool.
We should probably try to get him to come in here. We need to see what city he's in.
Yeah, you know what? That would be awesome if he could come in here.
MG Universe, you're welcomed anytime.
So to all our YouTube channel followers, you guys, gratitude for watching.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And this includes Crowboy, who actually has tweeted at you before.
Yes.
Right? So he not only comments on those vids, but he also tweets at us as well. KJ Hotman03, this guy has had some good comments on Spartacus videos that I posted on my Facebook page. And
so he's watching them then.
Yeah, he's watching. He's looking
That's a
around.
real Spartacus fan. You know they're real Spartacus fans when they're doing the research with us.
That's right. And then we got Dread Life. He commented on our last video, and he said that I'm obsessed with lesbo and boob action.
You are, Sean.
But he did it in a loving way.
What was his name again?
Dread Life.
Dread Life, thank you for being honest, because Sean is, and so is Phil as well, but he's going to keep quiet and probably not admit it back there, but he's obsessed with boobs too. And so I'm just happy that you guys embrace that.
I watch Shameless, all right? So don't worry. I like boobs. I just don't watch Spartacus, that's all.
And which
No,
is a
I don't have
shame.
anything against the show. I just don't have the time to watch all
Well,
these
there's
shows.
lots of nudity for you if you ever want to catch some.
And really quickly to wrap up Dread Life, he also commented that he thinks I'm Asian/Hispanic.
Oh, I can see
So
that.
that
I
was
can totally see
interesting.
that.
Yes, for your information, really quickly, I'm Filipino and white. My dad's German, Polish, Swedish. There you go. That's what I am.
And for anyone else wondering, Black, Mexican, Native American, and Scottish. So, but we definitely appreciate your guys' commentary. So please, once again, leave us comments, YouTube and iTunes as well. Make sure that you rate us afterwards and let us know what you guys think and how much you love the show as well. And so now let's get into news and gossip before we get into the workout.
Stuff.
AfterBuzz TV News.
This is always part of my favorite part. So news and gossip. So Sean, do you want to go into some of your Twitters first?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so in my news and gossip, just recently, Liam McIntyre, he seems to be a big gamer. He has tweeted about being balls deep, I quote, balls deep in ME3, which is Mass Effect 3. It's this popular game that's come out for PlayStation 3 right now. It's on the third installment of a game, and a lot of people like to play it. And I actually have considered downloading or even buying Mass Effect 2, even though I haven't played part 1. But what's interesting about the game is it's such a popular thing right now that's even been talked about being made into a movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Liam McIntyre, that's awesome that he's a gamer. I really appreciate
And
that.
I'm surprised he even has time with the workout that he's doing with the rest of the cast.
Oh, yeah.
He has time to
absolutely.
play video games. Wow.
Well, he does it at night. That's his cool down.
Oh, there you go.
He can't swing swords all day. He's got to shoot some guns at aliens at some point.
That sounded a little sexual.
So we also got Entertainment Weekly. They posted an article about the 2 new characters that are going to be in the next season of Spartacus. But when we'll talk
think we
about
have
that a little bit more when we
Okay.
have the pictures brought up. Thank you, Phil. And let's see what else. On March 10th, a fan tweeted at Liam asking if there is a budget for blood on production.
Oh, that's a great question
Yeah.
because we see so much of it.
Oh, yeah. And Liam retweeted, and he said they went over budget.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I've never seen so much blood in my entire life, and this show definitely provides all of it.
Yeah, and I wonder what type of a formula they use for it. I always hear like corn syrup and red dye. That's
looks
usually,
so real.
Yeah, that's usually like the formula for making blood that I know of. But it's very goopy
Well,
looking.
kudos to the special effects artists.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen DeKnight tweeted on March 14th that he only needs to have 5 scripts done for a season to begin filming, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he just needs to have the scripts for 5 episodes done, and then they can start filming for the next season of Spartacus.
So do we know when they're going to start filming?
Yes.
I think it's April, right?
Yeah, I think it is. You know what? I don't have that in my notes currently, but
I'm pretty sure it's
sometime.
April.
Yeah, I think they mentioned sometime in April, something like that. Let's see. Sedulous, the guy who was killed off last time, that German big guy. He, by the way, is gigantic. How tall do you think he is?
I don't know if that was special effects or if he really is that big. He looks like he's 8 feet tall.
He's 7'1". He is gigantic.
That is incredible. And he went into acting and not basketball or football.
So Sedulous,
Smart man.
Yeah, he was defaced last time by Spartacus. His real name is Conan Stevens, which is pretty funny.
He looks like a Conan.
He looks like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
He is huge. He will be playing a recurring role on the new Hobbit movies set to release this year, and one this year, and another one 2013. He's going to be in both of those coming out.
Oh, great. I'm happy he's using his body to his advantage.
Absolutely. Let's see. Stephen DeKnight also tweeted that he recommends watching Game of Thrones and Mad Men. If people are not, if people can't watch Spartacus anymore because the season's going to end in about 2 more weeks.
I love Game of Thrones.
What a coincidence. Those are 2 shows that we do here on AfterBuzz. So people should tune in, watch their shows on their respective channels, and then they should come on to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out and join us right after those shows are on, so we can give them news and gossip and discuss. They can call in, they can tweet at us, whatever.
Great idea, Sean.
AfterBuzz.
That was just a shout out to AfterBuzz.
And let's see. Also, Stephen DeKnight tweeted that the new Sparty DVD and Blu-ray set will be out September of this year in the U.S. So if you guys want to, you can pick that up for this season, Spartacus Vengeance. And lastly, I have that Erin Cummings. She's once again in the news because she has a new project coming up. Erin Cummings, in case you guys don't remember, she was Sora, Spartacus's wife, who we saw a little bit this episode.
Yay, we got to see a glimpse.
And according to Deadline Hollywood, she will have a recurring role on Baby Big Shot, a CBS lawyer show. And she's going to be playing the main character's sexually heightened sister. Not sure what that means.
She's a freak.
She is a sexual freak.
So I want to hear more about what you had mentioned about season 3. So yep, there we go. Thank you, Phil.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the news and gossip? What's the dish? Who is this guy? He is fine. I heard he's going to be on season 3.
Yeah, so this gentleman's name is Todd Lassence, and he's from the show called Cronies and a couple other shows that are on Australian TV. And he is actually going to be playing the young Julius Caesar coming up in season 3.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, season 3 of Spartacus. And yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He's supposed to be playing that young Caesar that's rising to power and is going to be leading armies against Spartacus's army.
I can totally see that. And then who else we got? Who's next?
Okay, and this is the new guy who's also going to be in season 3 of Spartacus coming up, which has not been subtitled yet. As we had Spartacus.
Yeah, they haven't chosen a name yet.
No,
right?
they haven't yet. For we have Blood and Sand, Gods of the Arena. Obviously, now we have Vengeance. They haven't found out a name for the new one yet. But this guy is actually
this photo that you're looking at is from Wolfman.
Okay.
But that's the gentleman who's going to be in Spartacus.
Okay, very good. So this actor is on British television. His name is Simon Merrills, and he's going to be playing Marcus Crassus, who we always talk about all the time on the show. Not so much in the last couple episodes, but people have referred to him so much, especially Verinius was the last person.
So they're kind of trying to prepare us for his role.
Yes, this is the one where they referred to him as being large of corn and small of woohoo.
I love that we put sound effects instead.
Yeah.
Okay, so this photo right here that we're looking at is Ellen Holman.
Is hot?
Yeah.
Is it hot?
It's definitely
Very sexy.
hot. Because I keep teasing our Spartacus fans about there being, and you guys are going to have to stay tuned to see it, a kissing scene between Katrina Law and Ellen. And so this is a new character that has come onto Spartacus. We see her playing Saxa on the show, and she's the German gladiator. And so this is them kind of playing off of this whole sexual, like, what is it? Lesbian, what does they call you, Sean? A lesbian lover?
Lover of lesbian
Lover
action?
of lesbian action, yeah. So they're kind of playing into this and playing for people like you, Sean, who are obsessed with it. They're teasing you. And this was actually in Vegas. If you go to the next photo, you guys will see that they're celebrating for the weekend out in Vegas. This was about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks. They were celebrating, I guess, you know how everybody goes out there for Sugar, which is a new restaurant / candy store that's opened up out there. And so they were celebrating that out there. And so these are all the girls. We see Katrina Law and Ellen Holman and Mira. What's Mira's real name again? I don't want to.
Oh, you mean
disrespect.
Navia?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Navia. I'm sorry. Mira's Katrina Law.
Escapes me for the moment.
It escapes you right now. And then the other blonde we killed off.
Yeah, that's right. And then we had Chadra. That was her name.
Chadra, yeah.
And then we got some sugary-looking cocktails there.
Right. Of course, it would be at Sugar.
Yeah.
But that's them
Yummy.
all together. So they not only fight and play together, but they also have a good time and relax and mellow out and drink together as well.
Very good.
Next photo. And so this is them just sucking on some lollipops. I thought this was really cute because we always see them dressed up in gladiator wardrobe, and they always have to be so serious on set because they're fighting for their lives. And this time they get to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what the lollipops in the mouth was supposed to insinuate, but,
She's,
but it looks like they're having fun.
It looks like Saxa has the lollipop backwards on purpose.
Oh, yeah, she's being silly. I love
Yep.
that.
She's a lot taller than the other women.
No, she really is.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
this is just the two new characters. This was a photo that I found that had them side by side.
That's right.
So we can look forward to them for season 3. And then do we have any more? Or are
And
we
that's
complete?
it.
Okay,
That's
good
it.
stuff.
We'll get the video going.
Okay, so we just have a little bit of a red carpet footage from the Gladiator cast. They were at an annual charity event, which was this March 15th, 2012. And I'm excited that they have time to do charity events because with their workout regimen and their season starting up again that they have to reshoot,
Right.
They still make time to give back to the community
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
and walk the runway, red carpet, I mean.
Yeah.
And look amazing. But before the show wraps up and we do predictions,
Let's not forget about the workout too.
yeah, no, we have
Mention
to
the workout a
we
little
have to
bit.
definitely do the workout. But
missed
look
it
at the
last
workout
time.
is paying off. If you can see,
Oh, look, there's Aaron Cummings right there too.
their bodies look amazing. But look at if you look at Ilithyia on the red carpet, she looks a lot more, I guess, softer and more professional in this situation. We're so used to seeing her kind of playing more of like a sexy queen kind of role.
Right.
But Katrina Law looks amazing.
Oh, as always. Saxa looks great too.
Yeah, she does. They look
AKA
awesome.
Also known as Ellen Holman.
Right.
Is that Peter Mensa right
Yeah,
there? Awesome.
Anameus.
There's that
You
giant.
guys will hear us go back and forth with their real names and their character names all the time. We're attached. What can we say? But they all look so good together. I mean, I'm sorry. I have to say that this is one of my favorite shows to watch, not just because everybody on it is beautiful, so it doesn't hurt my eyes at all, but they're also great actors as well. They're not just looks. They're not just getting by on their great bodies. They bring it.
Yeah,
And-
they're eye candy and they're talented.
Exactly. And one person who, I'm sorry, she's won me over. I'm one of her biggest fans now is Katrina Law. I talk about her all the time. And she was telling us that the Gladiator boot camp workout that she was doing and that they do gut drills, sprints, circle of death races, circuit training. And she forewarned Ellen Holman about this.
Uh-huh.
And so we see Ellen kind of get a little bit spooked on TVequals.com if you guys want to check out the 2 interviews that they did. Ellen was saying that she was kind of scared of the circle. And I think you told us about the circle of death before.
We've alluded to it a
Because
little
it's where
bit.
you take the ball and you throw it and you catch it and you have to
Yeah,
hop
it's-
down and bounce back up and throw it to someone else.
Yeah, that's right. It's those weighted balls. So if you guys want to try this over at the gym, I think it would be a little bit hard because you have to have a bunch of people, at least 4 or 5 people outside of the circle, and you're going to be in the middle. So they'll throw like a weighted ball at you, maybe like a 10-pounder or less, for those people that can't handle as much. So you throw that at them, you have to get it, throw it back, you jump down for maybe a push-up or something, you come back up, and you got to catch a 30-pound bag. So that's pretty amazing.
30 pounds?
Yeah, and then you got to throw it back to the other person.
That's incredible. I got to work up to that. I'm on 2 pounds right now at the gym. But the circle of death was something that, like I said, she forewarned Ellen about. But Ellen was saying that if she couldn't pass that drill that they do, that she feels like the cast wouldn't have initiated her in. And she feels like that's part of the initiation process in order to having gotten her role. She was like, yes, I'm a great actress and I'm fluent in German and I'm also physically fit. But if I wouldn't have passed the circle of death, they wouldn't have loved me. And so Katrina also gave more information about her scene with Ellen. And she was saying that now what's funny is both gave interviews on the kiss that's going to come up that was actually improv. That they both had, but each one of them says that the other kissed them. So
I got a boner.
I got a boner. So Katrina's like, no, Ellen kissed me. And Ellen's like, no, Katrina kissed me. But regardless,
what is the truth?
regardless, Katrina and Ellen both say that this was their most surprise moment and fun moment because they both were able to catch the guys off guard and that everybody was like, so caught off guard, but that they wanted to keep the scene. And so they're like, we need to shoot that again because we didn't get it quite
Different
right.
angles, please.
Right, exactly.
We got to do a slow-mo
So I'm waiting
phantom
for that
camera
scene.
kiss.
I know you guys are with me. I mean, I'm sorry. I want to see it too because they're both 2 pretty hot ladies.
Hopefully next episode we get to see it. And before we get into predictions, you're talking about that workout stuff. So another workout that I would recommend doing, unfortunately, a lot of people can't do this either. Get a big sledgehammer and hit a tire.
What? Sean, where are we going to get a sledgehammer and a tire from?
You know, sometimes I would imagine they might have these over at like UFC type gyms, but this is what they were doing on the set. You know, in that video we saw before, we had the Spartacus cast members like Liam McIntyre, just like, I guess it's to simulate maybe like axing a piece of wood or something. So you get a big sledgehammer. If you guys, you know, whoever has this, you can try it out.
That sounds so hard.
But you hit a big tire, like a big monster truck tire, or like a tractor tire. The way that you could simulate this in a current gym that you work out at is you get a big, huge, one of those big balls that you can throw around. Not the weighted balls, but the ones that are like puffy and they're still big. They're like 15, 20 pounds. So you can get that, you put it over your head, you throw it down as hard as you can, and you just pick it back up and you repeat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that sounds so intense.
It's pretty intense, but it's the best thing that you could do to simulate that. And another workout that I like to do is, and I saw Andy Whitfield do this. I've seen Liam McIntyre and the other cast do this as well on their videos for Men's Health. Pull-ups to push-ups right away. So you do like 10, 15 pull-ups I would recommend for anybody who's starting off on this. If you can do more, that's great. As soon as you finish those, you drop down, you give yourself like 10 to 25, whatever you can handle of the push-ups.
I don't know if I could do it.
It's good stuff.
That sounds so intense.
It
but
is.
I know that Ellen said in her interview that before, in order to prepare for the role, that she worked out 4 weeks in advance before she even went to New Zealand, and then continued with the Gladiator workout when she got with the rest of the cast. And she was saying that this is the sorest that she's ever been. Like, her body is going through a transformation, but it's all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any more of the workout plans?
I don't. Those are the only two that I added in for today.
Oh, okay. So then AfterBuzz prediction.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Predictions. So, I got a couple. I think that within the next 2 episodes, the Egyptian, his identity is probably going to be revealed. It seems very enigmatic. Like, who is he?
He's mysterious.
Is he just this guy who got randomly dragged out of there? You know, obviously he's really strong. He got shot by 3 arrows, and he was able to cut off Lucius's head still. So there's something up with this guy. You know, maybe he's someone really important, and we just don't know yet. So another prediction I have.
He did take a lick at it and keep on ticking.
Yeah,
he did not stop.
That's true. And Ashur, will he finally get his comeuppings? Will he be killed before the end of the season?
And that was what I was going to say too.
I think he might be.
I think so too. I kind of foresee that with you, just because he's been around forever. I feel like he's going to be killed though by Seppia.
Ooh.
Because now that she knows, and this is how wicked Lucretia is, she's not going to do it herself, but what she's doing is plotting and planning in order to get Seppia to do it. So by revealing to her the bracelet, Seppia is going to want vengeance on Ashur for having killed her brother, and so, her brother and her lover.
That's a good point.
And so now she's going to take it out. So this is Lucretia's way of getting rid of Seppia, because now she killed someone, and getting rid of Ashur, and he's not going to be able to harm her anymore either.
So you think that that Seppia is going to want to kill Ashur, obviously, and then she's probably going to want to kill Glaber as well. So she's going to take out the 2 guys. But how's she going to do it? She's a little girl.
Yeah, she's teeny. I don't think that she can. I don't know if she's going to be able to get Glaber, because I think we still need him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that for sure she's going to go after Ashur now that she knows that it was his hand, although it was Glaber's word that he did it by. So I kind of see there being some friction right there.
Yeah, very true. Also, will Verinius come in? Is he going to come into play by the end of the season?
I hope that we see him back.
I think that he might die. Maybe he's going to come in, try to save Seppia from all this misfortune that's going on.
Well, I see Lucretia trying to get Seppia on her side to get him back, so I can see him coming and trying to save the day, and maybe getting with Seppia. I don't know. She's easy. So
That's right. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens next week. Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
We love you, Spartacus fans, because you guys are huge Spartacus fans, just like we are. And thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. You can follow us on AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, or you can follow me, Spicy_Madi. Let us know what you thought about the show, and you can follow Sean at the Sean Overman
That's
as
right.
well. And he also has a blog.
Yep, it's SeanOverman.org. Very easy to remember.
Check that out as well. And don't forget to rate us after the show. Let us know what you thought about the episode of Spartacus. In addition to any predictions that you have, we want to hear
It
commentary
takes 15
about
seconds
you.
to rate and comment.
Exactly.
15.
Rate and
Let
comment
us know,
us,
let us know.
people.
And we'll give you a shout out. If you ask for a shout out and you contact us, we will definitely give you a shout out on the next
The views expressed herein are those of the
AfterBuzz
host
show.
only
So
and
make
not
sure you do,
necessarily
guys.
reflect the views of
Thank you. Love
We
you.
may not always have shout outs for everybody. Let's just be real.
we might.
try.
We love our fans.
We try as much as we can.
Yeah, we do. We'll get to you guys. Just leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought. Rate us.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
And vote for Maria on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, Maria.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.